the healthcare industry as well as other industries and state controlled economy and then putting that liability on taxpayers is not the basis of an economy. And other
Okay. Let me read it. Howard Rourke, the protagonist of Ayn Rand, the Fountainhead, is what's called. So it was based on Frank Lloyd Wright, which I always thought that was just kind of like the most obvious surface level read, and it was very fascinating. And being from Illinois, which we both are, Frank Lloyd Wright had like a lot of history, and even in Texas, where my family's from, some of his proteges, and it's really cool, very logical. And then like as this AI stuff says, it says quiet demeanor was modeled after Rand's husband, Frank O'Connor. However, there is a dark historical connection. In her private journals, Rand heavily analyzed the psychology of the notorious 1920s kidnapper and murderer William Edward Hickman. Hickman murdered and dismembered a 12-year-old girl. Rand studied his sensational 1927 trial while developing her early concept of the Superman, an individual driven solely by his own ego and total disregard for social norms. See, like that's too far. John, do you feel that it is consistent with your Kabbalah mental framework? And if so, how? Oh.
Like, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah.
And we're back. Yeah. How do you reconcile Ayn Rand's just super anti-religious views with like Nietzsche, like Nietzsche kind of views versus Kabbalistic views? Or just kind of is it a balance for you?
She criticizes superstition.
Religion.
Well, she talks about rationalization, and what's funny is in Kabbalah, the emperor is the rational. So she's trying to point out the irrational behavior because if you wanted to, you could use religion. You could have theocracy and demand that everybody adhere to your theocracy, which some people might consider irrational, like swinging a chicken over your head and then wrapping yourself in amulets, and forcing people to do that socially might be irrational. It could be. It could.
Might be. So my mentor, my top rabbi, my rebbe, so to speak, all the freaking time goes that faith is the opposite of logic. That's the whole freaking point. It's because your daddy said so. Hashem, the creator, the king of kings, he said so. And like there's the rational commandments, the super rational commandments, and the super rational commandments. And that's the whole effing point. And a lot of it is just logical. Or like at the end of the day, it's logical. But like the Ayn Rand shit is very like two dimensional. It's the same thing as Art of War. Because all of that philosophy hits the limit. Because it's not considering Hashem. You can literally just do as I will. Crowley. That Crowley shit. Which can only, because the other thing, you realize that like the sorcery stuff can only work so far, is like only God can create. And so like there are sorcerers in the Bible, and like Pharaoh speaks to sorcerers, but they can only do like the bend a spoon.
Yeah.
and let me like jack off your palms. The palm reading.
Well, she brings up the separation of state and capital, and
She's
you know,
awesome.
your
She's like a Harry Potter writer too, which is also sacrilegious.
well, what I'm saying
Great
is
book.
we're
Yeah.
constantly told that we are a country that has a separation of church and state, but we are not told that we do not have a separation of state and economy, and capitalism creates abundance. The union of state and capital creates poverty for the masses, and
Yeah.
putting tax liabilities on future taxpayers as well as current taxpayers is a recipe for disaster. We need a federal bankruptcy, not a federal bailout.
Well, Atlas Shrugged. We need to go golf. Have you worked on Atlas Shrugged?
I haven't read Atlas Shrugged now.
Oh, highly suggested. That's probably like it's longer than the Fountainhead. That's probably the better book. I think Fountainhead's more enjoyable. Anthem's also good. But basically, Atlas Shrugged is about what if all the creators, the engine of society, just dropped out and just disappeared. They didn't die. They disappeared. I don't want to ruin for you. They made movies of it. The movies are like not high budget, but there are movies of them. But like it's what are your thoughts on just that premise, John, on the podcast of like what if all the creators of all the business leaders and real estate owners?
So what's up with this lawsuit with Terry Newsom and the Pat Gibbons videos? Like, how did that come into connection?
You should publish the lawsuit as a journalist if you can get your hands on it somehow. I wonder if it's been published already. But like, I haven't published it. I may. It's just he's such a pain in the ass. But like because it's a journalistic thing. It's like Joe. It's actually very interesting. The class action lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. So wait, what was Perry?
It's a civil because he was running for office. It's a civil rights. So there is we'll see if he drops the business claim.
Mm-hmm.
So right now there is a civil business claim, but the stuff that's really fascinating, and I think it's good, like the reason why like Tom DeVore and all them are freaking out,
mm-hmm.
is he's basically making it like a civil rights thing because he's running for office.
Right.
And these like fucked up goofies were like illegally coordinated. And like they knowingly lied about him. And they like said illegal stuff. Like Aaron Delmar was telling all these organizers, like Joe's violent. I'm afraid he's gonna like shoot me. And then like he was a male prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
Take the bike path.
Is that just projection?
It must be because it's like I have no way of knowing if it's true or false, but it sounds pretty false.
I got a lot of views.
About Cicero, what?
No, go on about Cicero. What?
Isn't it like Joe Joe like has a famous family and like it's just kind of freaking crazy. And even when I went to the Columbus Parade, which was the Italian community, getting signatures for Joe Severino, like people like that were very hesitant to sign stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh, Joe Severino, oh, that's my guy. Like he's a good guy. Here, I'm gonna get you some signatures. Don't worry about it. Like he's got like a very like strong name and family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's really projection because Terry was the opposite, where he like grew up in the suburbs and would like literally take car rides to like the super Italian area and go to the gyms. This is his public story that Terry talks about. So I think he's projecting the like Joe, where he's like, you're not really from that area. And the bike path prostitution, you hear some that tough shit? Terry, you can look this up. Look up the Terry brags about being an altar boy at this church that no longer exists and is now a mosque. But he's snitching on himself again. Because that church, partially part of the reason why it no longer exists is they had a pedo priest that was around the same time he was an altar boy. Confirmed. And so the bike path shit sounds like him. Or someone was, because like there's this other guy that's involved. Have you ever seen Goodfellas? John?
Yeah. If I cut out, It's just because I went to the kitchen to refresh my beverage.
Have you ever? Yeah, because it's a podcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got Perry.
Have you ever seen the movie Goodfellas? So?
Hold on one second. Perry said that Pat Gibbons has the ability to do a monologue for an hour, and therefore he's a good guy. And so, I said,
and when Perry's arguing that Pat's a good guy.
Well, he's an activist, a conservative activist, and
no, he's not. How? Conservative how?
Well, he beats his wife. I mean, his ugly fiance.
And that's what makes him conservative. Yeah,
he's like a Muslim. Muslim men are very conservative with their sex slaves.
Too. He's probably getting public assistance.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I also want to tell you something that if you ever call me to be on the John Kitover podcast, at this point, I'm expecting you to also be live streaming on a tripod, on a cell phone, onto YouTube when you call me. Because just having my phones as the one recording platform, it's pretty unprofessional for you, a journalist with a big media network.
I agree, but this is probably a conversation for after.
This is not a conversation for after any show. This is the conversation. And the fact that you're not filming it shows me that you're not serious about what you're actually doing. I think you're unprofessional and you lack the technology or the intelligence to simply click a button. Just click a button. It's not, I saw you do. Listen, you did great at the John Kitover Band audition at Shenanigans. You did great. You and the John Kitover Band crushed it with Queen, with the Bohemian Rhapsody. And it's amazing how a minion just forms naturally. A minion is 100%,
like... But you need the $5 stand. I agree. Like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know why you're going to waste your time because you're not wasting my time. The thing is, I need someone to participate in the way that I'm participating because I think that what I'm doing would amplify what you're doing, which is being the problem. Because when Pat Gibbons on his...
No, but if you're radioactive, sometimes you got to stay in the Yucca Mountains. Like, that's the question. Is that we have some radioactive info in every direction, and the election's coming up, so that's a real problem that I even struggle with. Is just me opening my effing mouth, having an opinion on anything.
See, this is the thing about a podcast of just two guys chatting on a microphone is that if somebody says something off cuff on a podcast, guess what? It's a podcast. And so there's no liability, there's no defamation.
Can we talk about my podcast, my startup thing?
Well, let's talk about my new startup, CougarDating.com.
Do you own it?
Well, no, but I did launch a Cougar dating app and a Cougar dating website for iOS and Android today with Meta. And I only did it because this Schwartz on... Clubhouse was like, I got a good idea. How about a dating app for cougars and good guys? I was like, fuck it. I'll launch it right now. Done. He's like, and people are like, well, I don't know if I want to build that app right now. Maybe that app in the future, I'll dedicate some resources to post. And I was like, bitch, I just did it in 15 minutes for free. Boom, done. Like, so if somebody has a good idea, we can launch it within 10 minutes.
Okay, so I support your success, and that's great. But as me personally, I'm not going to be a part of the Cougar dating app because
what?
Pound for pound, pound for pound, cats, especially cougars and tigers, are the strongest animal. Cougar can mess you up, but that's awesome. Congratulations.
I heard elephants and rhinos.
What's the name of this Cougar dating app?
Well, I want to wait until we announce it on my official Venture Capital channel because we tie everything into Venture Capital Publishing with Jason Gallicanis and other billionaire investors.
Who's the audience? Because even though I might not hop on, I might know some people. Are you looking for your cougars?
Oh, I don't know if you know this, but I had an exclusive news story yesterday.
What's that?
Rabbi Shmuley Bateach versus Clavicular and Yosei in Israel. I got
Wait. Were you with Yossi and I when he was in Chicago?
What's his last name? Arrow?
Fair. I
Fair.
remember. You want to shoot? If he wasn't in Israel, we would get him on we would try to get him on the podcast. But he's in Israel right now.
Well, me and Rabbi Shmuley Boteach go way back, and we're best friends. And unfortunately, Yossi Farrow is on Shmuley Boteach's radar for decimation. And yesterday, Clavicular was in Israel talking to Rabbi Shmuley Boteach's daughter, and his daughter. And then get this: there was an IDF soldier flirting with Clavicular, saying, I've got the passwords to the IDF TikTok and Instagram. And so she got arrested for possibly being engaged in some type of espionage, sabotage. And it's all because, I'm telling you.
That's a smoke screen, that last part.
I'm telling you.
They were there on a mission to you want to break some news? You want to break some news here? You want to break some real
Run
news?
it. Take it to the press.
No.
Take it to the press. Run it. Run it.
You want to break some news?
Run it.
Break some news about this.
Call the Imperial Lord.
Get the phone ready. Get the phone ready. Is the reason why Clavicular was really in Israel and no one's talking about? It's because he's actually Jewish. He's just not actually ready to admit it. So, well, yeah, his mom's mom is Jewish. John, is that not breaking news? I guess that broke you, or you went to the kitchen to go cook some food. John, hello? Okay, this is brought to you by Pantera, the metal band. Dimebag Daryl, rest in peace.
Just remember, if I ever disappear, it's just because I'm in the kitchen refreshing my beverage. I said we go back to Shenanigans Thursday, and this Thursday.
John, did you not hear my breaking news?
No, I was in the kitchen refreshing my beverage, but
it's actually real breaking news. And exactly what you were talking about is the reason why Yossi Farrow was actually in Israel is because he's Jewish. He's just not ready to announce it to the public yet. His mom's mom is Jewish.
So
making him a full Jewish.
So Shmuley brought up a good point that Clavicular is on an apology tour because he was confirmed doing a sig.
That's not true.
Well, hold on. Wait till I finish. He brought up Kanye West and how that decimated his business, and the same thing has happened to Clavicular after him and Nick Fuentes were doing Nazi symbolism. And so
this is wrong, incorrect.
Well, all I'm saying is I've notified the IDF, I've notified Netanyahu, I've notified other sources in Israel to arrest Clavicular. And if Yossi Farrow, if Yossi Farrow stops Clavicular from being arrested as a domestic terrorist threat, Yossi Farrow will also be arrested because he is saying terrible things about Menachem Schneerson. How dare Yossi Farrow say these terrible things about Menachem Schneerson?
You're missing a lot. You're out of your element, John, respectfully. Out of your element. Yossi Farrow's like 21 years old, and he was just a defensive felon kid, and he's just like, wow, this is so cool. And what you're missing is, no, he wasn't there on an apology tour. As a Jew, I'm like immune from being called an anti-Semite, kind of. And what Yossi told me face to face, breaking news, is that Clavicular is actually Jewish, and that he's just going to announce it like later, like 3-4 months from now. And so it's actually like a spiritual visit. But then the IDF sent like a honeypot, and he got like freaked out and left early.
Well,
and the reason why your guy Shmuley, he's just mad at Chabad, and he's been shitting at Chabad because like one Chabad rabbi from Miami said "fuck you" to him, Like, it's like, and I'm like, there's like someone from like his synagogue, is part of the like hotel
Mm-hmm.
that Shmuley's like suing Shmuley.
Yeah.
Like Shmuley's a fucking piece. Like, I mean,
Don't say that. Don't you dare. I told you that Shmuley and I go way back. How dare you say that about my friend? How dare you?
No, but like, how you say you're, holistic. He's going at the Chabad movement like none other, over some just like petty shit. Like a Chabad rabbi's son, not even like the rabbi of the synagogue, the guy's son, goes like, "You're fucked, Shmuley. You're gonna lose the lawsuit," and that's like the only reason why. Like, he just ties everything to Chabad. Because that's the truth. Because you know that, like, Shmuley, to his credit, is the first person to talk to the anti-Semites and like debate them on Alex Jones's show, or like Piers Morgan, or whatever, or Oprah.
Well, see, this is my position: is that Shmuley Boteach, as an activist, is extremely successful, but it's still a very niche audience, and if I can support him in just a little way, as opposed to criticizing the man, that's the side that I'm always going to be on. Is that I do not want to criticize.
I'm Chabad though, so that's why it's like he's. Can you please tell me to like lay the fuck off Chabad?
In this, the man is the man's a rabbi. It's his business.
Do you follow his Facebook? I'm sure you do.
Bro, I told you, I go back years with him.
I know.
Years.
One of the last like 2 months.
Listen, the point is, I will always support a fellow Yiddishkeit. Always. No matter what side of the Yiddishkeit fence they are on, I'm here to support you. I'm here to support Rabbi Shmuley Boteach. And the truth is, clavicular trying to F Israeli Jewish girls in the nightclub in less than 30 seconds in a bathroom stall.
I don't like it. No, I don't.
That's why I wanted him arrested. He's over there raping Israeli Jewish women in the bathroom stalls.
I don't approve of Tel Aviv. I would have wished he would have went to Hebron and like Jerusalem. That's part of the problem too. Is like the secularism in Israel, which should be a holy land.
Well, where do you think you can?
You can't go to the club in Mecca.
Listen, if you want to help people that are off the derech, where do you go? You go to Tel Aviv, where everybody's off the derech.
No, I guess the only place in Tel Aviv I would go is B'nai Brak.
Well, you just ain't been to Kuli Alma. Maybe you're not cool enough for Kuli Alma.
No,
for the tiny room. You ever been in the tiny room? You never even been in the tiny room in Kuli Alma.
Yes, I have. I've been about that life.
You've been in the tiny room?
I've stayed in Tel Aviv for like one time for like a week, and then I've been to Israel like 3 times total. And every time I've been in Tel Aviv, like a little bit, but like one time extended time.
It's also dirty, man. Like fucking buses everywhere. It's just brutal, man.
Well, Europe is just bad with the AC in general. Like America has AC on Europe. Big advantage. But really cool. I mean, like for Jerusalem and like Hebron, you can't even go to Abraham's tomb. It's ridiculous. But
listen, it's a great country, man. I mean, I can't wait to go back and Aliyah and retire there.
Yeah, but I don't like if you want to like talk about if you want to nitpick, I can nitpick. But like Yossi, just the same way that Botanica friend, Yossi's a Chabad brother.
Well,
he really just like
Shmuley says
he's so young. He's 21 years old.
Rabbi Shmuley says that he's just clout chasing for clicks and sponsorships like Clavicular, and now that he's been outed as being an associate of a neo-Nazi scumbag, their pipeline of sponsorship advertising dollars has dried up.
Okay, from his perspective, he's trying to do as many to fill in as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone, I talked to him about this. About how no Jew is more powerful, and he agrees with me. I talked to Yossi about this.
See, the problem is wrapping yourself is not like reading a book.
What?
Wrapping yourself is not wrapping yourself in a book. All you're doing is doing a movement, but you're not actually doing any studying. And so that's the problem with what he's doing is, when I rap, I study, I read Torah to increase my consciousness. Just rapping yourself alone will not increase your consciousness. It's my theory. It's my theory.
Okay, so John, let's unpack what you said. It will not increase your consciousness. It will increase your consciousness a little bit, not all
Just
the way.
a little bit, not enough. I can read a good book. It's way better.
Well, as they say, that studying Torah as a man is like an extra commandment. It's like a double. Yeah, you're right, and it gives it meaning. But like the Rebbe was a big believer of like, the commandments you have to like do every day or keep every week, like Shabbos, or like when you keep or tefillin. Those are extra special because because you have to just keep doing them. It's a repetition. It's a Mr. Miyagi type stuff, John. That's kind of like the stuff for like faith is the opposite of logic. Where like Hashem's like eat your peas, eat broccoli. We're like we don't. He's smart. Like Hashem's smarter than us. Like the prayers are genius. It kind of sounds illogical on to just kind of be reading the same thing every day. But you should be studying on top to enhance the prayers.
Okay, I hate to interrupt, but I have to tell you something very serious.
What's that?
I'm about to participate in a genocide. I'm going to text you a picture of all the victims.
What?
I've already killed over 450 horseflies in a stink bag outside. And many people think that flies have souls just like you and I. But I have a tenant who can't get in and out of her unit because of the stink flies. So I had to genocide them. And some people will criticize me for supporting Israel and being strong Zionist and saying that how could you kill the children? How could you kill the children? And all I like to say is that in America, we abort 3,000 children a day across the Planned Parenthood network of abortions.
Facts.
It's a lot of genociding.
Yeah, we have dominion over the animals. You're good.
Oh.
You can't. Like, I don't think it's right to like do it out of a lust. You're doing it out of necessity.
But I've never seen so many horseflies just sitting in a bubble of horsefly diarrhea. It's so disgusting that when I send you the pictures of my genocide, and you zoom up close and you see the anguish on the horsefly face, you might think twice about your dominion over the flies. Just because I can kill hundreds of them does not make me the lord of the flies.
Oh, we would know. We have a major disadvantage. We're like insects, we're outnumbered probably 1 to thousands, but like birds, it's like 1 to 30 minimum. And they have aerials, so like, on the high ground on us.
Well, I put in around my property. I put in 10 bird boxes, and I've created a bird box real estate war. And they keep writing me notes saying, "Why did you have to redline?" And I say, all I did was create free housing. It's the people living. It's the birds living in the houses complaining of the redlining. It ain't my fault that you got redlined. I just was building. They didn't like it. I'm just saying, when you create inventory or you create supply, you naturally that demand will compete and use political terminology to say they've been discriminated against. But the truth is, discrimination is essential to applying the law, because a Democrat, liberal, progressive judge that can't discriminate, a dumb fucker who has hit 75 people in the face on Michigan Avenue and can't discriminate against that motherfucker, that person is a dumb motherfucker practicing restorative justice. That Senator Marty Motwick and Senator LaPointe waste all their fucking time working on. These senators, I just saw this, my local dumbass senator that I signed her petition. She's building a homeless shelter in Portage Park, and all the people are like, why are you spending $60 million inviting all these homeless people to come live next to me? You stupid bitch. You ruined my neighborhood. Thank you very little.
Thank you very much. You brought King Cyrus. Spent $60 million. So, like, how many beds will $60 million get you? Like 50?
Brandon Johnson's like, we're 150 million short. I'm like, you're 150 million short. You just gave 1.3 billion to a hospital in the ghetto. You just gave 65 million to a community center in the ghetto. Like the guy is outspending himself, and he's begging for another 150 million. Did you see how much the police have paid out for these settlements in addition? And get this, most of the billing isn't even by lawyers; it's by paralegals. The law firms that are billing the city are scamming the city and now applying a new billing methodology, and it's cost the city over 100 million.
Good for them.
Not good for them. The city is completely bankrupt.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for you as a property owner, but yeah, like good for like a Brandon John. They say he's stupid, but he is the king of scams. He really he understands like money extraction.
He's getting away with it because he's black.
No, he's trying to do it with the head tax. That's like Icarus level of money extraction.
Well, I keep tagging the Department of Justice, and because they declared that the reparations were illegal in Evanston, all of these grants that he's passing out to these black nonviolence activist groups, it's the same thing, reparations under a different name. So he's stealing from the pensions to give to black nonprofits in the hundreds of millions and in the billions through TIFs. TIFs, have you ever seen what a TIF bill looks like? I looked it up because I worked at Google.
I know it's the federal market. Like they always like, oh, TIF's good. Every freaking election, TIF.
The TIF is basically, so after they build the property, they get a credit on their property tax for many, many years. And then the TIF ends. But some of these organizations apply for the TIF again, and they get it. So it's total political racketeering and tax credits. Yeah.
They're open about it, and then they also lie and pretend like TIF is like endless.
And guess who the biggest TIF
is, depending on who president is.
Guess who the biggest TIF recipient is in Illinois?
Who? Pritzker?
J.B. Pritzker.
Yeah.
All roads lead back to JB. Did you see what I wrote about JB? Because Darren Bailey says that.
Amazing.
Yeah, did you see that? Because
did you see that Darren Bailey's calling JB gay, which is kind of ridiculous?
Yeah, I was like, damn, he's gonna project his own homosexuality onto JB. That's risky. Hey, friends. Did you see what JB wrote in his yearbook? Drugs on drug. I was like, you chose a coke dealer rapist to be your lieutenant governor because you're being blackmailed.
You remember in 2022 when I was staying at the John Hancock building? Even though I wasn't doing much in Chicago, I was probably spending some time in Boys Town. Remember all those LGBTQ boys I had on my campaign? Fucking OnlyFans, be like, my boyfriend put the OnlyFans on there, and the other was just dating a fucking sex offender, and he's like, oh, I didn't know he was a sex offender, and they all worked for Bailey in 2022.
You know what?
Does that make sense to you?
There's something I've been meaning to tell you that I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Is that Reverend Mike Flanafigurator or whatever, who got kicked out of the Catholic Church?
Flag.
So he was in a photo a couple of weeks ago getting a $20 million check from Tony Preckwinkle for anti-violence reduction. $20 million. So I created a great infographic, and now that he's been kicked out of the Archdiocese, I wonder if my infographic was what got him actually kicked.
When fact becomes the legend, when legend becomes fact, print the legend.
Because I don't know if you've seen what it says, but it's pretty risque what I wrote. And it's risque.
I remember it. That's 100% what did it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe because I reminded people that this guy is an LGBTQ pedo, that pushed it. Like, because you can't say things like that because of libel, slander, defamation, and the laws.
You can if you are, what's it called? You're like Johnny. You're like basically Daredevil, or no, not Ghost Rider. You're like the Ghost Rider.
Well, the amazing thing is, based on the things that I say,
you're the Punisher.
Well, I've heard it said if you're a political candidate and you're making outlandish political statements against other people, it's like a liability gray zone where nobody can really sue you because you're a public figure defaming a public figure, and it's really just your opinion. And so the freedom of speech gives us that ability to make defaming statements, so long as it's not like in the way that Severino was coordinated by masked identities. Like, you know how many?
Well, you're not allowed to knowingly lie. Like, that's what they're doing.
Well,
Like,
do you know how many? Do you know how weird these people are? You know that what's his name, Jim Flanagan or whatever the fuck his name is?
What?
What's that one guy, Jim Lanham?
Yeah.
Do you know that guy is creating fake accounts to try to like get into my profiles? Like,
I told him you're military. He can see. I told him that. I said he's like, I'm like, you should read my comments on his shit on my record. Because I'm like, I really just go straight for the soul. And I'm just, I told him, I'm like, what kind of adult man has like 30 anonymous accounts? Like, I'm like, that's why you're unhappy with your personal life and have never been married. And then he goes like, oh, like John Kitover? And I'm like, no, John has over 100, but that's different. He does it for work. He's military. But it is true. You do it for work. Is that you're creating a node system. It is different. The system doesn't work if you just have like 5 or 30. You need 100 nodes.
Yo, so the WLS crew, Tommy, and what's her name?
Oh, they weren't on Saturday.
They were on?
Nope.
Oh, because in that retraction that WLS put out, you said that you forced them to do that. How is that possible?
It's called a demand letter, folks. And it's not like a threat. It's literally how the legal system works. It's because they did slander her, and they admitted to it in their response. And they were admitted to in the statement, of course, but also just immediately to the demand letter. Is you're not allowed to slander people on the radio, because like Rocio does, like most of the jobs that she's, I don't want to go into her job situation, but historically she has worked with kids, and they said that they called her a torta, or I don't know, they called her some like empanada, which is derogatory. Just reducing her to like a pastry. And then they said that she was stalking. She got fired, or she faced major consequences for stalking a kid. When that just is not true at all. Like based on a FOIA. And if you look at the FOIA, basically a kid was like, something really bad is happening at like a church or a business, or I don't know. But the kid reported something to Rocio. And then Rocio followed up on it and never didn't get in trouble at all. That's not stalking. That's not stalking a kid. That's like what any rational person would do. They're just idiots and misread the FOIA. They were just like blindly angry. And so I wrote a demand letter, but you guys should know that's the first step of a lawsuit. And so to be honest, demand letters are supposed to be over the top, and you're supposed to ask for a bunch of stuff expecting they don't do it so you can sue. Because like Rocio has a lawsuit. So let's write up a demand letter. And I do think that's the route she's going still. They did post. Rocio didn't sign any releases. So I wrote the demand letter. Basically, I was saying that they had to do 5 apologize on the morning show every day for a week. And then Jenny and Tommy would have to apologize. Immediately, they said, we do every day this week. After internal investigation, we found that she wasn't stalking any kids. And, they also found offense to the empanada comment. Then they said, we can do the apologies, which I'm like, damn. And then they're like, but we can't have Jenny and Tommy apologize on their show because as of June 30th or whatever, July 1st, there's no longer a show. And Rocio, and then went back and forth, and she had Joe Severino kind of negotiate.
But you can't carry in New York, right?
Because he wanted a higher number. Because to be fair, they didn't satisfy the demand letter. The demand letter included that on the show.
You can.
because that Saturday show had a specific audience.
The Sean River Lake
That's what
slide.
it was made.
We don't go around
robbing
that's what
bodegas
Snyder.
What
The Sean River Lake
Rocio.
slide.
And
You should have put in that demand letter that you and Rocio and Joe get 1 hour of airtime to rectify what you consider years of defamation and political
She's go through with a lawsuit. She's because, like I said, that's actually because now we have like evidence that they admitted that they said it. Now they're basically saying that they distanced themselves. And so on the demand letter, it wasn't just them; it's Salem and the parent company called like Wellstone, Wellwater. I forgot. It's like a not-for-profit private equity company. This like a Christian Utah company. And then also Jenny and Tommy herself. So I think Rocio can get quite the bag because it's a legitimate case. They were just like angry and ignorant, and like honestly, she should. She's like that really could affect her money making. Who would hire someone at school who has a history of stalking kids?
Well, Rabbono Shel Olam, gekachen lichtigen dein Augen, Fushta.
Podcast. It's been good. Next time we better have a tripod, or else John's gonna be angry. We don't want to make John angry.
It's not a question of being angry. It's a question of if I'm. The point is, if
this is his military service, you're a private contractor. That's the legend. That's what you're. Not only are you a private contractor, you're the reason why Father Flagger's under investigation. We're just breaking all sorts of news. Amazing.
The
podcast.
point is, if you want to call into the John Kitover podcast, you can call in anytime, and I may or may not, decide to feature you and run you in my 12-hour daily lineup. But if you want to fill one slot once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week for 30 minutes it's just a calendar event, but it's the same thing with you.
BYOT, bring your own tripod. Or else. BYOTOE.
This is a BYOT podcast. You know what I thought about is like, if you created like a cafe and you just called it like the social media cafe and you just advertise it, market it as being like a creative, creator space, it probably would be pretty popular because,
cafe.
It's a little bit like I created this company called Selfie Events, and the whole thing was to just like throw events. The whole purpose is to come and take selfies with other people, and it never took off. But the fact that you can like
in LA that you can just copy and bring here. I think they have. I know for a fact. They have like fake planes in Nevada. I was talking to my friend who's done. He kind of helps make those like fake video of like, oh no, you're my long lost twin. That's crazy.
Why don't we try to get Rocio? Why don't we try to get Rocio on the podcast?
Like the fake military reunions. What?
Why don't we get Rocio on the podcast?
What?
I'm gonna call Rocio and get her on the podcast for at least.
She's the next guest. We're done with our thing, but call Rocio, get on the podcast, but make sure she knows. And please don't talk to her about the case because.
No, I'm not going to call her separately. I'm going to call her right now and 3-way her in.
No, I'm not. I got to go. It's 40 minutes.
All right, well, that's please, next time, I'm going to check. Before you call me, you got to text me and say, hey, I brought up a tripod. I'm ready to podcast. Otherwise, you got to let me know. I do or I do not have a tripod. Because if you don't have a tripod, I am going to decline the next call. The next podcast event. I feel like we've covered everything we need to discuss today until karaoke on Thursday. What do you think?
What song are we singing on Thursday? Or am I singing? Is the John Kitover band?
I'm going to just look up Johnny Cash because I looked up Frank Sinatra. They didn't have Chicago. How pathetic.
That train coming. It's rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. And I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on. When I hear that train coming, I hate my head and cry. When I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always be careful, don't you ever play with guns. But I saw a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that train coming, I hate my head and cry.
Did you ever hear? Oh, you know what? I need to look up Bruce Willis. I need to look up Bruce Willis next time we do karaoke because he's got a band called Bruno's Back.
What?
Bruce Willis has had a band in the 80s after his movie successes called Bruno is Back.
How about guys cut you down?
I don't
Go
know.
on for a long time. Go on for a long time. You sooner or later cut you down. Sooner or later cut you down. If that cell phone wire, that cable, or that ring, I got the idea of fucking lyrics. That was a badass one. Yeah, you should do Johnny Cash. Look up the lyrics, John.
Okay, that's the world famous Max Rice from IllinoisRecord.com. We've been talking about politics in the Chicagoland area on behalf of the campaign to elect John Kitover, Chicago mayor. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com or Brandon Johnson, Chicago.com.
Highwayman.
Right now.
Okay.
Feet has been described. Yo, shut up. I'm reading.
All right.
Douglas J. Feith is an American lawyer who served as an Undersecretary of Defense of Policy from 2001 in July until August 2005. He is a senior. I'm not done. Yeah. He's a senior fellow at the Hudson Institute, a conservative think tank, right? And he's been described as an architect of the Iraq War. In the lead up to the war, he played a key role in promoting the false claim that the Saddam Hussein regime had an operational relationship with Al Qaeda. Now let's scroll. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second. Let's scroll a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
Hold on. Let me. Hello. Can I finish? Can I finish?
Hello.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Moderators.
Yeah.
Okay, Feith was born to a Jewish family in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. One of 3 children. Hello.
Yeah.
He is his father was a revisionist
So
Zionist.
he's not an Israeli. Okay.
His father was a revisionist Zionist. Right?
That's why.
Let's just look into it. Why is this guy telling America lies that started a whole war that was pointless? Hello? This guy, he is. He's an American Israeli lawyer.
No, you said he was an American Jew. You didn't say he was Israeli. Read it
He
again.
is. He identifies as an American Israeli.
No,
just like Marcel does.
Yeah,
this is what I'm trying to. Yo.
He's not an Israeli.
Yo.
Read the.
Do you not know? Yo, Norm.
Listen,
Norm.
I hate making you a liar, Jazzy.
Norm.
Maybe
Norm.
Go back to the
Norm.
Read it
Norm.
Read the
Norm.
where it says
Norm.
You just said he was
Here. It's right here.
Read it again. Don't pull.
This is another guy.
No. Read the same guy.
Here we go, guys. Yo, moderators, y'all gotta mute this guy, or I'm just done. I don't have.
You were done before you started. You go back 20 years and then you lie.
If you read the first sentence here, it says Mark Zell's an American Israeli lawyer. Then you go to his early life, right? You go to his early life. Yo.
Come on. Tell us the lie.
These people are identifying as American Israelis, regardless of where they were born, right? And then they're lying